As if the Activision Blizzard acquisition wasn't enough for Xbox to completely dominate the news cycle, they had to go ahead and talk about the record-breaking numbers they just had this holiday season and into 2021. We have some insane success from Xbox, from Halo Infinite to revenue to console sales to basically everything, all of which points to one thing. Xbox is completely dominating this generation, has continued to grow every year. Let's get into these numbers because it's starting to get a little out of hand. So let's do this. Hey, what's up everyone? Thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to be notified on future content, hit that small little bell icon. And if you want to go that extra mile to support the channel, hit that join button. All right. Let's get into these numbers because I have to admit Xbox is completely taking over the gaming industry, it would seem. Which is great for me because I truly do love talking about the gaming business side, especially when it comes to Xbox and what Microsoft is doing, because you know what? That's my preferred platform. And the last several months has been great for Xbox, especially when you look at all the games and also the amount of content they've brought out to people during this next generation. Phil Spencer has said since last year when the Series X launched that 2021 was going to be the true battlefield for this generation. It starts in holiday 2021 and will continue into 2022. And after seeing these insane numbers, it's pretty obvious that Phil Spencer was correct. In fact, let's just get right into these numbers and break down everything that's going down. Microsoft's gaming division, Xbox, reported revenue of $16.28 billion for the 2021 calendar year. Best calendar year on record, beating previous high of 2020. Total gaming revenue up 17.7% year over year. Content and services revenue up 8.8% year over year. Hardware revenue up 63.3% year over year. Z-Huge, who's a known insider, posted these. So I'm going to go off of these numbers that he have reported from Microsoft themselves. The first thing we have to say is that Xbox has made $16 billion for the 2021 calendar year. This is the biggest year of Xbox and beats their previous record year in 2020. Isn't it funny that Xbox continues to grow and grow year over year? It's as if the decisions they've made and have been making has completely paid off for them, especially when you look at the total gaming revenue going up nearly 20%. The 17.7% growth is something that companies love to see, especially when they launch a new product, but also double down on a lot of things like buying Bethesda and now purchasing Activision Blizzard. The next thing is the content and services going up nearly 10%, or 8.8% to be exact. Now, I know most people will look at that and think, wow, that's not that much. But to them, I would say look at last year where services went up rapidly because of the pandemic. Growing almost 10% after everyone was home and they grew like crazy is something that we should all take into account. Don't get me wrong, I know they would love to see more than 8%, but after seeing what they did in 2020 during the pandemic year and what they did this year, I think this is a huge success. Which brings me to the hardware revenue, which has gone up 63.3%. That's a massive, and I mean massive, jump from last year. We already know that the Series X has been selling like crazy, so I think this could be even bigger if they had the consoles to meet the demand. I also think that the Series S console was a huge help with this number, especially since we know that console was out and about this entire holiday season. Most people want the Series X, but a lot of people bought the Series S as an alternative so they can get the better performance and the better graphics on a next generation system and feel a little future-proof while maybe they wait for the Series X to drop in price or to just get into stock. And we also know that Xbox really did double down on the Series S and brought out a lot of them during the holiday season, so we know they were going to dominate the market when it comes to that. Not to mention they already beat in December and I think November Sony in console sales because of the Series S and the demand they were able to meet. But now let's get into the other numbers being posted. Content and services revenue was $12.6 billion, up 8.8% year over year. Content and services continue to be a key driver, increased digital product mix. Game Pass plus first-party title sales up year over year. Decline in third-party title sales. Content and services equals 77% of revenue. And this is where Xbox is going to focus a lot of their efforts when it comes to making their money. We obviously see that the $12.6 billion is the main income they get at Xbox, aka the services and content that they create. As the post says, content and services is going to be the key driver for the increased digital products. Game Pass and first-party titles are all up, so that's a huge thing that Xbox is going to keep track of. We already know that Game Pass has grown and will continue to grow with the new games coming into it, not to mention the amount of investments Microsoft has put into getting exclusive games that will go into the service. Yet the one thing I want to focus on for a second has to be the decline from third-party title sales. Most people know that third-party sales and microtransactions is a huge reason Sony and Xbox make so much money. Yet we all know that Xbox had a lot of great first-party games come out last year and had several of the biggest releases in gaming no matter what last year. While third-party studios like Ubisoft, EA had great big games, they didn't go as big as Xbox did with Halo Infinite and Forza Horizon 5, not to mention all the other first-party games they brought out, including Age of Empires that went to PC. So with these numbers growing and growing, it's strange to see that third-party title sales declined a little bit. That means that the main revenue that Xbox is coming in with is dependent on their first-party studios and their services that are all in-house, which is great to see because Microsoft will see the value in investing in their own studios, something we've seen happen the last several years, especially when you look again at Bethesda, Activision Blizzard, not to mention all the other first-party studios that they've had grow. But now, let's get into the hardware revenue. Hardware revenue was $3.7 billion, up 63.3% year over year, driven by continued demand for a Series X and S. Xbox Series S production increase helped fulfill some demand, better than expected. 2021 was a full year of next-gen hardware sales, while 2020 only had the launch quarter for Series X and S. Now, this is what most people will post on social media and attack Sony fans and Xbox fans because they're stuck on a single piece of plastic. Yet for me, this just shows one thing. Console gaming is doing just fine and is actually thriving, and the 63.3% increase from last year shows that exactly. The demand for the Series X and S consoles is at an all-time high, and it's funny that they can't fill that demand, even though Phil Spencer has said they're making more consoles than they ever have before, yet they're still selling out. This is treading on PS4 sales territory at this point. Console gaming and gaming in general is not slowing down at all, and it's awesome to see that as a gamer. So when we see these massive numbers on the console sales side, it's obvious that Sony, along with everyone in gaming, is seeing the same thing. Yet for Xbox, I think the power of the console, the price of the console has driven these record sales. Throwing Game Pass and the exclusive games, and you see that Xbox is going to continue to grow at a rapid rate, especially since we see the services like Game Pass growing even more. Which brings us to the summary. In summary, Xbox Series XX sell is in now over 12 million units estimate. Xbox Game Pass subscriptions are over 25 million. Fun fact, if you add Xbox revenue plus projected Activision Blizzard revenue, you get 24.9 billion for 2021. Not that Microsoft recognizes this revenue or the deal is closed yet. So we have 12 million consoles sold for this console generation only. What that means is the Series X and S consoles, that's it. This many consoles sold in just a year is pretty insane, and we know that the PlayStation 5 is selling just as well. Then we have Xbox Game Pass subscriptions going over 25 million, which again is an insane number and a great revenue stream. Not to mention, the Activision Blizzard is going to just add this by the end of next year. The future of Xbox looks extremely promising, yet the current Xbox has completely dominated a lot of gaming for a year. Oh, and we have to mention this about Halo Infinite and Forza Horizon 5. With over 20 million Spartans joining us so far, we're thrilled to announce that Halo Infinite is the biggest launch in Halo franchise history. Thank you everyone for joining us on the next step in this great journey. So let's put this all together. Record console sales, record subscription sales, and now we have 20 million users on Halo Infinite and also 18 million users that played Forza Horizon 5. I think it's safe to say that Xbox is going to be here for a long time, and these numbers are just the start for Xbox. Don't be surprised that Redfall, Starfield, and pretty much every single big exclusive from Xbox is going to see some insane numbers attached to it because of Game Pass. And if we see this type of growth without Xbox firing on all cylinders with their other first-party titles, without Bethesda dropping big games and now Activision and Blizzard dropping big games, just imagine the amount of growth Xbox is going to see when they start to pull some of these big numbers from not only the console, but from the PC platform. That's the biggest growth market right now for Xbox, PC and mobile. They'll continue to grow in console, and they know they have that locked down, as we can see with these numbers, not to mention every single game they probably bring out is going to go to console as they figure that stuff out. But once they get PC gamers to go to Xbox Game Pass, that's when we'll see growth Xbox has never seen before. Let's hope they can execute that, because it's a long road and it's going to take a lot of time and it's going to take a lot of money. But after seeing the $70 billion they used for Activision Blizzard, after seeing the $9 or $8 billion they used for Bethesda, and not to mention the billions of dollars they put into their own first-party studios to grow, I'm not worried about that. I think Xbox is going to grow like crazy, and I think this is just the beginning and a little taste of what we're going to see in the future. I expect record numbers this generation, and most of all, I expect competition throughout this entire generation between Sony, Nintendo, and of course, Microsoft. Let's hope that all happens. But enough of what I think about this. Tell me what you think about this. Are you surprised with the growth Xbox has seen? Do you think they'll have even more subscribers once they bring out Bethesda games? What do you think their goal is for the end of 2022? Or do you think 2023 is going to be the bigger year for Xbox? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button to support us at the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. So right now, I've been playing a lot of Rainbow Six Extraction. I'm having a good time with it. I think the game is very well done. Me and my buddies have been playing it a lot, so you know what? I don't like how people are attacking it too much. I understand that it's not the best game ever, and it's not like Siege and all these other ones, but I'm having a good time with it, and that's all that matters. Some games are just there to have a good time with. And I've been playing a lot of Horizon Zero Dawn, not to mention StarCraft. I'm going through that whole thing again because I want to get through that game. Because after Xbox bought Blizzard, I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm happy. I can't wait to see what they work on. I hope they use the talent there and actually use these IPs. Because like I've said before, Blizzard is my favorite publisher and my favorite developer of all time. And I wish they start bringing out some great games and IPs like they did before. Let's hope that happens under Xbox, not to mention treating people right. But let me know where you're playing. Are you on your PC, your Xbox Series X, or are you on your PlayStation 5? Let me know down below, because that's what we're here for. It's to talk games. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.